Well, I was having a conversation with my father earlier today. Conventional wisdom reigns, doesn't it? It's like groupthink. I hate groupthink, in case you had not already guessed. I really do. I hate it being 46 years old, being 47 in October, going to turn 47 in October. I have begun to question a lot of conventional wisdom because I have lived unconventionally for about 5 years. That is to say, I'm a housewife, I'm a mother, okay, and that's basically what I do. But this is my hobby, and yet in heaven's economy, this is my most important job, my preaching gig, which nobody seems to take seriously, but the people who need to take it seriously will. The people who don't need to hear me won't hear me and won't care. And that's okay, right? Jack Handy. Deep thoughts, right? Deep thoughts. So, another deep thought I was having today was about sunscreen. Again, I bought an inflatable pool from Walmart. This thing is gargantuan for only $20. Are you kidding me? Plastic pools costs almost that much. I said costs. I meant to say cost. My gosh, I'm not really grammatically in error, am I? I didn't mean to be. No, it's just my mouth betrayed me once again. Plastic pools cost that much. This is an inflatable pool, and I took out my little air mattress inflator thing, and I did it, even though they said use a hand pump. I'm like, are you kidding me? Use a hand pump, Go have a nice day. That's my euphemism for you know what these days. When I'm in a good mood. And so, no, it worked out great. It's beautiful. It's made in China. Good products. Walmart, I trust Walmart and I trust Amazon to give me good products from anywhere, including China. And I trust China unless they poison our pets like they did with what they did a few years ago. Yeah, we've got like a local pet food factory where they were like sending ingredients that were deadly to pets. And it took people a while to figure out this was very Machiavellian and very short term, to think that you can somehow up the protein content with poison and get away with it. Yes? Tell him I'll call him back in like 5 or 10 minutes, okay? I know. My husband usually calls at 3 o'clock, and I forgot, and he's a little bit late today, and he never wants to listen to me anyway, folks. And he's like, he's polite. He thinks I'm funny, but I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be engaging. I'm trying to be relevant. In heaven's economy, that is to say, eternally relevant. Okay, I'll never be a supermodel. I'll never be a head of state, probably. I'll never be an ambassador to Ghana, probably. But if Shirley Temple could do it, why couldn't I? No, I'm just wondering, right? I mean, I like her a lot. Could I be the next ambassador to Ghana? What are you talking about? You crazy. No, what I was talking about was sunscreen. Sunscreen. When I was a little kid, I was born in 1972. Hence, I'm expecting to turn 47 this October. We had not sunscreen, we had suntan lotion, we had copper tone. Only I could get tan on my arms, but I could never get tan on my legs. I was like ketchup and mustard or something. Because actually I wouldn't turn tan, I'd turn yellow and red. No, I mean, that sounds like a hamburger, which I am. I'm a hamburger with all the trimmings. And they didn't know about skin cancer. They really didn't know a lot about skin cancer in the 70s and the early 80s. Then they began to understand that the sun can do a lot of damage to you if you're not protected. Now, there are different ways to protect yourself. I'm saying don't avoid using sunscreen, especially if you're in the sun for many hours of the day, like numerous hours. But it's my opinion, it's my humble opinion, that if you're in the sun, in the direct sunlight for, say, fewer than 2 hours a day, you can probably get away with not wearing sunscreen. Now, this is why I say that, because I think that diet and a good mental and spiritual outlook really are more important than sunscreen. Just like they did a study with people who took a lot of vitamins, they ended up getting, in this certain study, I'm not making it up, I can't cite it because I don't know, it was a long time ago. But seriously, you can take a lot of vitamins and still end up with more diseases. You got to start with the whole foods that actually have the nutrients that deliver themselves to you in the proper form and in the proper way and in the proper timing. That's the great thing about walnuts, right? Walnuts lower blood pressure, and you can't necessarily distill that blood pressure lowering agent out of the walnut. You have to eat the walnut to get the full benefit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't use sunscreen, but I think that one needs to have a balanced approach to one's health. I don't like sunscreen. You know why I don't like it? Because it's stinky and it has chemicals. Unless it's just pure zinc oxide, then you're just a kabuki performer, because that's just white, which is fine if you're a lifeguard and you don't want to get skin cancer on your nose. But this is the reality here. I don't. I think that the chemicals in many sunscreens could probably cause cancer, different kinds of cancer. So wouldn't it be better to just kind of not go out into the sun too much if you're a lighter skinned person, and just eat really healthy foods and gain nutrients in some way, maybe through drinking V8 juice or something that are antioxidant? Because tomatoes are great antioxidants. Pasta sauce, great antioxidants in the pasta, right? Great, I mean, in the pasta sauce, which is tomato based. I remember reading a few years ago about how, yeah, the lycopene is good in tomatoes, but it's better once the tomato is cooked. What do you think about that? So you can't just eat raw foods and expect to get the full benefit of what God has given us medicinally in our whole foods. You're going to cook some of your foods and you're going to get more benefit out of the foods after you cook them. Let's just have a balanced attitude and a balanced outlook. I would say, now this is just me, I'm not a medical professional, so you can't sue me. I'm not saying here I'm advertising for sunscreens, because I mean, if you're going to be in the sun like 8 hours a day, and you're not from darkest Africa, I guess maybe you should be wearing sunscreen. I guess that probably makes sense. But as for me, it's stinky and my kids hate putting it on. And my dad's like, oh, you better make sure they get sunscreen. I said, Dad, they were out in the pool from 11 to 12, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's safe. For me, that's safe. And I don't have to worry about the chemicals, the stinky chemicals, and the mess, and them complaining, and them just getting all paranoid about the sun, because the sun is our friend, in very small doses. All right, so that's all I had to say. Thanks. And by the way, have a great day.